Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. Okay, so my girl Holly, she made hamburgers and mashed potato, which is great. What two food groups are those, Holly?
Well, I had protein and I
Yep.
had a carb,
Mhm.
and then I had a side of peas, so I had a vegetable.
Great. Look, now, um, the next thing is, so you're still hungry. What are you supposed to do?
Eat.
You say what?
She said eat.
Yeah.
Eat.
Now, what are you supposed to eat first?
Protein.
Drink some water.
No. Our level
What?
two?
You got to eat some more protein.
Yep. That's gonna be the very first food you go after. Okay, like you can try to drink the water thing, but if you're still hungry, because sometimes, so when is the last time you drank something?
At the gym. I didn't even drink anything with dinner.
Okay, so with every meal, what I've been doing now, I've been just trying to practice it. So you should get you a bottle of water in too, because sometimes our body does, and we do confuse hunger with thirst. And so we tend to eat because it's a trace amount of water, some more than other, in every food that we eat, no matter if it's bread or rice, no matter what it is, does have some water in it. So sometimes our body is really especially you just got finished sweating, busting your butt. So you are right now still mildly dehydrated. So drinking something is going to be good. It's going to have you feeling a little fuller. But then if that doesn't work in like 5 to 10 minutes, go back. The very first thing you attack is you get some protein. And then after that, you if you're still hungry after that, you get some veggies in the portion sizes.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Yep. And that's for anybody in level two. So don't ever starve. Don't ever make yourself hungry. Make sure you drink something. So always ask yourself that question, like, because I've been noticing that too. I'm like, man, that's crazy. I ain't really drink anything in the last 3 or 4 hours. So let me, and it usually does it. And if it doesn't, then I just give me some more protein.
Yeah, I have that. I can eat a meal and not even drink anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times like a lot of people have to have like that drink there.
Mhm.
No, I can eat a whole meal and go who knows when and drink something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we putting that water in ourselves. It makes us a little more fuller.
That's my dinner.
And good job,
My dinner,
Rebecca. Huh?
shrimp. I'm going to have some shrimp.
All right. Good job, Rebecca. She's half crazy. What's going on, Jess?
Not much.
How you feeling, my girl?
Uh,
How you feeling? You tired?
yeah, I got up at 4:40 this morning.
Mm.
Be at work at 5:45.
Well, that's always fun.
So I'm still here.
Hmm. Good job. You sound like Rachel. All right. So it's about 7:07. Does anybody, real quick before we get started, we usually get started around that 7:10 mark. So does anybody have any questions about this is so awesome I can see all you all now. I had this stupid thing where I couldn't see nobody. I was like, it was driving me crazy. But I'm glad I can see everybody now. But anybody got any questions about their habit? Any because you all are on week 2 of the habit that you chose of your choice. So does anybody got any questions? And does anybody want to share a habit with anybody? I don't think anybody utilized that, I don't think, unless you're already sharing a habit with somebody in a group. It's just cool for accountability. It's cool for you and a person to connect a little better. Be like, hey man, you can be like, hey Sue, I really like you. I can be like, hey Jen, I really like you too. Guess what we're gonna do? Let's share habits. Let's be cool. I can be like, hey, Mal, you my girl. I want you to see what I'm doing, Mal, and you can see what I'm doing. Hold me accountable, Mal. Thank you. So that's always a cool little. Remember, you all have that too. I think that's cool. And we're coming up here. I think Rachel, you may not know off the top of your head, but we're coming up on our. No, no, we're not. We got a few weeks. But our first event is going to be in November, and it's going to be Taste and See. I think it's Taste and See Jeopardy. So we're gonna have a little Taste and See Jeopardy action going on, and I'm gonna be your host. Okay. What's going on, Mama? Can you hear me, Mom?
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
I'm doing good. I seen your breakfast plate the other day. I was like, dang, Mom, you ain't never cooked me nothing like that.
Wow, babe, trying to bust me out real quick.
I was like, that food looked healthy, Mom. All I knew was frosted flakes with the
Because my son was always moving so quick, you know, had to get to the basketball court to do those 1,000 layups, you know?
Yeah. Blame that on Coach D.
That's right. Coach D had you rolling, brother.
Happy work, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. You didn't have time for good breakfast.
No, not at all. All right. So look, if you ever hear my mom or me say the word breakfast, we don't say breakfast because that's what we do in Maryland, okay?
That's right.
Don't make fun of us, but we say breakfast.
That's right.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, man. 7:10. I see my girl Kim got the hot sauce. Okay, Kim, I like that. Always keep the hot sauce on deck. All right. Don't have a meal without the hot sauce, or you got to put some teriyaki on there or something. I see the hot sauce, Kim. I ain't mad at you. I do the same thing. All right. So this teaching is death to the scale. I'm very passionate about this because I've seen the scale destroy us before. And when I say us, I mean us. We are a family. We are a community of healthy individuals, and the scale is one of our enemies, man. And you're gonna see how I kind of compare the scale to the devil. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty cool how I make it work, though. All right. So death to the scale. So the scale, man, it hinders our health journey. And the reason why it hinders our health journey a lot of times, because it's the idea behind the scale or the idea behind the creation of the scale. So I'm going back to creation right now of the scale. When I was doing my study, doing the history, look up on it, I came across something. Holly, get that cat down. Tell that cat we're having the meeting right now, okay? All right, so when I was doing it, so now weighing scales was born out of necessity for traders, okay? All right, we got my girl Corey in. So weighing scales was born out of a necessity for traders. So what does that say? That means that scales in themselves were never created for human beings to actually weigh themselves on. I'm not saying it's like an evil thing now, but what I'm saying is it was never even created for us, right? So as traders developed, merchants, they needed a way to assess the value of goods. They needed a way to assess the value of, I'm gonna say that one more time. They needed a way to assess or measure the value of goods. I'm gonna bring that up again. That they could not simply be counted by, that could not simply be counted by the pieces or like irregular shaped golden nuggets. So when they was doing their thing, they used to use this scale and it would assess the value of goods. So what I'm saying is the idea behind that is, what do we use a scale for now? We may say, oh, I use a scale to weigh myself, or I use a scale to see where I'm at, or I use a scale, whatever we think we use a scale for. It's the idea behind the scale. Our whole health journey and value is wrapped up in that scale. You may say, no, it's not. No, it's not, because all these other factors. But let that scale not say what you wanted to say. Man, you like the heck with all them other things. I ain't trying to hear you. Tell me what you want to, Mark. So I ain't hearing nothing that you're talking about. That scale don't look right, and I got an issue. So value. So we put our value, our personal value as human beings, sometimes we put that inside of a scale. So what does value mean? Value is your worth, your importance, your usefulness. Value is how important or beneficial something is or someone is. To value something means to hold in high regard, meaning above all things, forget the journey, we put the scale above our health. And I'm about to break this down that look, the scale got nothing to do with your health. And you're gonna be like, wow, I never thought about it like that. That's why I'm trying to give depth to the scale real quick. All right. So the reasons why I hate the scale. All right, I'm gonna give you 12 reasons why I hate the scale. And if you want the notes, text me, let me know you want the notes, and I can send them to you via email. So these are the reasons why I absolutely hate the scale. Before I'm going to the reasons why, man, it's a cool scripture in the Bible. So back in Jesus' day, these people called Pharisees and whatever. So they try to test Jesus with some stuff. So they said to him, and the issue that he was talking about was about divorce. And they came up to him. It was like, well, how come Moses said in the law, it was lawful for you to divorce somebody? Jesus said this. He said, look, only reason why Moses put that in there because of the hardness of your hearts. So the reason why I brought that up first is the only reason why the scale is even in these transformation groups because of you all. I know that you all thrive on the scale, need the scale. The scale is everything to you all. So that's the only, if it was up to me, I literally would not have a scale in this transformation. I may get to that point where I'm as bold and I step out and say, look, we're not weighing ourselves. You know why? Because if I didn't use the scale, you would weigh yourself anyway. So that's why I just got the scale, because it's not like you're going to be like, oh yeah, Moksu, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to actually listen to you and not weigh myself. No, that won't work. So look, the scale, like I said, it was never really created for human beings. But the reason why I hate the scale, okay, number one, the scale is a thief, meaning it steals, kills, and destroys. You may be saying, oh, that's a little drastic. Watch me break this down. So when I say this, the scale steals, what does it steal? It steals your joy. It literally steals your joy. You could be busting your butt, habits looking on point, man. You doing your thing, you working hard, you going up in weight, da 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 da. Boy, you get on that scale, you like, this is stupid, this is dumb, everything matter. I should have ate that piece of cake that I was gonna eat at that party. Why did I not eat that on vacation? This is stupid. Like we literally put it all on that. So it steals your joy, right? It kills your gains. What I mean by that is it makes you as an individual belittle other accomplishments that you have been doing, and it can lead you back into bad habits. So it actually kills your gains. You can be gaining strength, you can be gaining vitality, you can be gaining confidence. You can be like, man, you step on that scale, man, forget those accomplishments. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear nothing about that. And then you say, well, you know what? I'm gonna go have them burgers. I'm gonna go have them fries. I'm gonna go have that stuff because the scale ain't showing me what I wanted to show me, right? Another one is it destroys your worth. So I said it steals, kills, and destroys. So the scale, the reason why I hate it, because it destroys your worth. Like people put all their worth, all their value in, and they put it all in that scale. They're only beneficial, they're only important, their only importance is only useful, and it's scale, 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 scale. So that's why I hate the scale. Now, that's only number one. I just broke down what it means by steal, kill, and destroy. So the scale is a thief, number one. It's steal, kill, and destroy. Number two, it's a liar of true health. The scale does not determine and dictate whether you are healthy. The scale does not determine and dictate whether you will live to be 100 years old. The scale does not determine and dictate whether you can move and function and run and jump and enjoy going on a date with your husband. Man, I'm gonna break all that down, man, but that's crazy. So it's a liar of true health. Number three, it controls people. It literally, people be like, man, I can't go a day without being on that scale. I'm like, why? It literally controls your day, controls your attitude, controls your mind, controls your heart, controls how you feel. It literally becomes your God. Like your scale is your God, meaning God is supposed to tell you what to do and not to do and all those other things. Like the scale literally controls you. Number four, it makes people feel like they cannot be healthy without it. Okay, Understand this, the scale is a 1900 invention. Like in the 1900s, this is when people really started using a scale. So it's a new concept to us as human beings. The scale has not always been around for us to weigh ourselves. So how was those people telling whether they was healthy or not? How was those people living to 100 and 120 and 115 and 95? We got all this technology, we got all the scales in the world, and our life expectancy is like in the 70s. Come on now. Like they got people in these blue zones in the world that's living in these places that ain't got no scales in the world right now, and they are they're outliving us. But we got scales and we got all these things, all these medicines and stuff, and we not even living that long. Stay off the scale. Number 5, it makes transformation impossible at times. The reason why is because what is a transformation but a renewing of your mind? And you renew your mind, you renew your actions, you get different outlooks, you get a different vision, you get a different, like, I want to be something different, right? So that's a transformation. But that scale can actually hinder it, because if a number don't look right, I'm gonna get down to how it blinds your mind and all that other stuff, but it makes transformation impossible at times. Number 6, and my favorite, it makes my job 10 times harder. So that's why I hate the scale, because it'd be like, so why you lose no weight? I'd be like, oh my goodness, like what did I do to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it makes my job as a nutrition coach 10 times harder, because people are always banking on that skill. If that doesn't say anything, it just comes back on me. Number 7, it has the power to keep you unhealthy. Because if you don't see a certain numbers, you can fall right back into bad habits, and you can become super unhealthy. So the skill actually has the power to keep you unhealthy. Number 8, it makes you forget about where you came from. So you got a person that lost 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, and they step on the scale next week for their weekly or 2-week or whatever check-in, and they only lose a pound. Man, they don't understand. You just lost 7, 60, 40, 50, 30 pounds. Why are you worried about you only lost 1 pound? Or you gained 10 pounds. Oh, I gained 10 pounds. So, man, because the scale said, oh, I'm about to be depressed because the scale said, like, forget that. That doesn't mean you're not healthy. Just because the scale don't look how you want it to look. All right. Number 9, it blinds your mind of your true why. Of the true why of your heart, meaning why I joined. I could have joined because I want to play around with my son for the next 18 years. I get on that scale and I don't see a number that I like to see. I ain't caring about my son. I'm like, why am I not 170 pounds? I don't even care about my son and my goals and my kids no more. I'm worried about my weight and my number and everything like that. So what happens? It blinds your mind from your true why. Your true why is, I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to be active. I want to be able to hang out with my husband and my kids and my friends and grandkids. And come on now. Okay, so number 10. And I'm very passionate about this because, man, this is like one of the biggest enemies, man. It kills us. So that's why I'm teaching on this early. Number 10, it has the ability to negatively influence your decision making. Happened to me before. Not gonna lie, 3 years ago, man. I saw that I was in this little weight loss competition. Didn't see the pound that I wanted to see. By the time it was all said and done, guess what I did? Immediately, I got off the scale, put my stuff on, boom. Went to Dairy Queen, went to McDonald's, got my food because of a number on a scale. I said, man, this ain't working. It's stupid. I haven't really been eating much, and I've been working out. And why can't I lose this weight? I didn't understand the science or the understanding behind being healthy. It was just a freaking number. It led me to make stupid decisions. All right. Number 11, it makes developing healthy habits seem worthless. Somebody can say, well, I'm eating this lean protein, I ain't lose 20 pounds, or I ain't lose 10 pounds, or I'm gaining weight, or whatever the case may be. And they don't understand that protein helps hormones, protein helps metabolism, protein helps bodily function, protein helps muscles, protein helps bones, protein helps ligaments, protein helps joints, protein helps so much stuff in our body and in our life. But we step on the scale, well, this is stupid. Protein is stupid now because I'm gaining. Like, what? Protein, no, is vital for you to function. It's a macronutrient. And by definition, the word macro means a lot. I mean, you got to have a lot of it in order for you to function proper. So if you don't have a lot of this macronutrient, you'll see your body when people get older and their bones and joints and stuff start hurting, is because they're not getting in the proper foods that they need to get in. So that's why their body starts cannibalizing itself, because your body is only focused on survival. And I can talk about that all day long, but I ain't gonna get off the path on that. But it makes developing healthy habits seem worthless. And number 12, and when I say it, I'm talking about the scale. The scale causes anxiety, anger, depression, worry, stress, and even suicidal thoughts. So it's so crazy how a scale can do all this stuff. You may say, well, that's not me. I don't got suicidal thoughts, so I ain't depressed. But you may be on one of these other things, or you may have, so don't judge a person, you know what I'm saying? But some people, it do lead to suicidal thoughts, man. So, and that's why I say those are the reasons why I hate the scale, because I'm about life, I'm about productivity, I'm about a process, I'm about positivity, I'm about going forward. And I know a scale is, man, I've seen it over the years, it just messes people up. So what the scale doesn't do, okay, so this is what the scale doesn't do. Number one, it doesn't make you healthier. I've never known somebody to step on the scale and say, wow, because my 2 feet hit this scale, I just got healthier. So get that out of our mind. This scale makes me healthy. Okay, because it doesn't. Like, it literally doesn't make my knees feel better. It doesn't make my arm feel better. It doesn't add bulk to my arm. Like, okay, I just stepped on a scale, so now my biceps look bigger. No, it doesn't do anything like that. Okay, so it doesn't make you healthier. It doesn't make you a better mom. So this number 2 is, I'm talking about your value and worth now, because we put our value on that scale, because like the idea behind the creation of it was so it can measure the value of things. So then we step on the scale and we let that measure our value. But it doesn't make you a better mom or a dad or a husband and wife, a believer, a friend, etc. Whatever you want to put in there, it doesn't make you better at that because you're stepping on and off a scale. Number 3, it does not cause you to lose weight. Actions and habits I do off the scale, that produces the results, not the scale itself. So a scale does not actually physically, whatever, cause you to lose weight. Okay, you never stepped on the scale and said, oh, by stepping on this scale, I'm losing weight. So get rid of that mentality. It's the action, it's the habits, it's the consistency, it's the following through, it's the making adjustment when things don't work. That is what actually allows you to make the weight loss. So look, back in the 1400s, when they didn't have scale, they used to lose weight and gain weight and lose weight. Now, so they was healthy without a scale. So how did they do it? You don't need it. Number 4, it doesn't make you look any better. I've never stepped on the scale and said, man, because I stepped on the scale, I look good now. Look at me. No, man. Number 5, and this is the one I'm about to break this one down for a lot. So number 5 is, it doesn't tell the whole story. A scale does not tell the whole story. It's about a tenth, not even a tenth. I ain't even gonna give it that much credit. But the scale doesn't tell the whole story. Let's say for my mom. So my mom, she been losing weight slowly but surely, but she been doing her thing. So her cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, like all this stuff, admit Jim back in here. All this stuff has been going 10 times better for her. I think her numbers was like 140 over something. Now it's down to 120 over 78. So it's like perfect range. And she haven't lost as much as 30, 40, 50, 60, but she's healthier. And the scale did not tell her that. So that's why I say the scale does not tell the whole story. I went from being a pre-diabetic to nothing. You know what I'm saying? I went from having back problems to, man, I feel great. Like, the scale doesn't dictate and determine that. So it doesn't tell the whole story, because now these are a lot of non-scale victories that you might have experienced, or that you are coming up upon, or you've heard somebody else say, and this has nothing to do with the scale. I can fit in my clothes. I couldn't for years. I feel like I can wear any shirt I want. I feel so much better. I can lift objects that I used to have others help me lift. I can walk up and down stairs without being tired. My stomach, face, body looks different. I've lost so many inches. I can fit my belt now. My rings came off my finger very easy now. I used to have an eating disorder, but I don't anymore. I've never felt this alive. My daughter texted me from college asking me about healthy eating options. My spouse has lost weight since I've made changes. My energy is amazing. I'm so much stronger. I'm not sitting on the couch every day anymore. I have date nights now with my husband, haven't had them in the last 15 years. These are all testimonies from people. I'm just repeating what they said. They got nothing to do with the scale. So I'm trying to get y'all, do not let the scale rob y'all. It is a thief. I can keep up with my kids and my grandkids. I'm finally sleeping at night. I'm a lot more confident in my approach to life. I can finally jump rope. Shout out to you, Mal. I haven't been able to run in years without being in pain. I made new friends and connections. I have a great time when I'm exercising. I have a better attitude, and I'm not as stressed as I used to be. I enjoy time with my family and friends. I am no longer a slave to food. I have habits and skills now that I can carry into life and be in healthy individuals. I Man, I feel like I can serve God better. I can go do mission work now. I feel like I've added 20 years extra onto my life to be around for my grandkids. Man, I used to um um uh I used to think of myself as nothing, but when I started exercising and moving around, I think of myself good. Another guy told me, he said, man, that's crazy. I didn't think I can live past a certain age because I saw my father and their father die at this age, but I'm not gonna let that happen. These are all non-scale victories that the scale has. I just named 30 different things. But why do we put value and stock in one thing? Think about that. I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm done. So I got a couple of questions, then we're gonna get into some discussion about it. So I asked you these questions. What story are you allowing the scale to tell you? That's number one question. What story are you allowing the scale to tell you? Are you allowing to tell you my worth and value is only in this thing? If I don't do good on the scale, I'm dumb, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm whatever the case. What story are you allowing the scale to tell you? And if that scale, man, you got to be honest with yourself. If that scale never moved another pound for the rest of your life, would you be an unhappy person and would you quit your health journey and go back to living and doing what you were doing before you entered into the transformation group? If the answer to any of those three questions are yes, then we need to have a discussion privately to determine why you have such a low self-value. Okay. If the answer to any of those questions are yes, man, hey, we need to talk about that because you usually have a poor self-image and that's not good. And I don't want you to have that. And I know you don't want to have that. So I asked some questions again, then we're gonna get in the conversation. What story are you allowing the scale to tell you? If that scale never moved another pound for the rest of your life, would you be an unhappy person? And would you quit? I'm not saying if you never lost a pound. I'm saying if that scale, if you never got, if that scale never moved, would you quit your health journey and go back to living and doing what you were before you entered into the transformation group? All right. So I'm about to open it up for questions or anything that anybody may have to say. Anybody want to chime in and say anything? And this is pretty good because what you all did last week was amazing. A lot of people loved hearing in our groups the real conversation we was having and the advice that was given and the points that was brought up. So yeah, so we can open it up and talk a little bit. I think Kim, you on?
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. If the scale never moved again, would you go back to the way you were before? Or your old habits, bad habits? No. No. No.
Good.
No. Because I've had to develop a mantra basically that just says this body can do amazing things.
Amen. It
Yeah.
can, girl, because you be in there getting it too. I ain't gonna lie, girl. You be getting it. Praise God. There you go. Good.
So it's a matter, it's a mindset thing. It's one of the hardest things to have to
Yep.
uh accept about yourself. But if you prove yourself to yourself in the gym or whatever, at work, wherever it may be, in your relationship, you have to be happy with that. You have to be satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm.
Very different, but it's very difficult because we as humans, we hold ourselves maybe to higher expectations or standards. Yeah. And then it's hard too in the media when you see that valuing and devaluing of individuals based on size and shape and, fashion trends and those kinds of things.
That's why one of my teachings is on society. And that's crazy you brought that up. So one of my teachings in this enemy of change thing is on society, and how society and how these pictures you see in these magazines, man, I've done a physique competition before. We got so much tanning and so much, I mean, obviously you got to work at it, but you got so much tanning, so much oil on, so much this. You do these crazy, strict, stringent ways of eating, and you do take you water pill like you, and then when they take them pictures, like Mallory does pictures, so she understands that you can make by a tent or whatever you do, you can make something look great. So then they put it in the magazine, and then men and women read it and look at it and be like, well, why come on, man, like, and then we put ourselves up against that, you know what I'm saying? And we don't, so we no longer, because not understanding that they will tell you level 2 people, meaning professional athletes, people trying to do things like bodybuilding, physique shows and stuff, they're not training to be healthy. They're really training for a photo shoot or a specific amount of months for a certain sport or season, or Denzel Washington may get in crazy shape for a certain role. But that's not how they look all the time. But they let us see that, oh man, I want to look like Thor. Thor is a small guy, but when he plays Thor, he's very big. He's a very big human being. But when you see him like in a regular, let's say when he played Men in Black, he was little. So, but we get to pay attention to that, and we let that completely rob us.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good. And the thing is, if we can get our mind away from this skill dictating everything, to know my goal in life is to live as long as I can, enjoy as much things as long as you're enjoying life, you're moving around, you're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling the person don't lose weight. Obviously, that's stupid. I'm not telling you don't lose weight. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you need to lose weight, lose weight. But I'm saying don't let the scale make you its puppet. That's all I'm saying. So I'm never saying don't lose weight. I'm never saying don't try. I'm not even saying don't ever weigh yourself again. All I'm saying is don't let the scale dictate. Don't be weighing yourself every 3 days. And don't text me that you lost 3 pounds. And it's not on the day you post that weight in.
That's right.
Butt, okay?
That's right. Yeah, because I literally weighed backwards when Rachel weighed me because I wasn't going to look, and then she put all the information in that app, and I'm like, and there it was staring me in the face, and I'm like, oh crap, I should have just looked.
Yeah, that's cool. So don't be if I say weigh yourself every 2 weeks and you text me after 7 days, I'm gonna be like, look, first thing I'm gonna say, no disrespect, I'm gonna be like, why are you on that scale? Yes, and then I'll ask you, I'll be like, all right, so what happens if you've been doing? I'm not gonna be like, hooray, because I understand that scale can make you be like, ha, then that scale can make you be like, oh my God. So I'm not about to be like, I am not the scale guy. So if you are secretly scaling yourself, don't tell me. All right. And don't tell nobody that knows me that's going to tell me. Okay. So that means don't tell none of the coaches, because they're going to tell me every single thing you do. And I'm going to kick your butt when I see you. All right.
And I don't know what I did with it, but at the end of the first round, when you guys had your weigh in, I had Dan weigh me, and I didn't look, and he actually put it in a seal, and I can't find it now, but he actually put it in a sealed envelope because I didn't want to see it. I'm like, if somebody wants to see it, I'll give them the sealed envelope, but I ain't looking.
Oh, that's cool. Jess, you got something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I did, I lost weight before and I got down to 170 and then I stopped. I was just telling Becca this the other day. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was just taking too long to get to where I wanted to be, or if the scale got me messed up, or if I just gave up on eating healthy. But I was like that at one point in time, and I'm not anymore.
Amen. Good job. Yeah, because with you, so you're down 70 plus. So being down 70 plus pounds, man, my God, it's a great feat. And the stuff that you can do, like, and you're like a main person. I would never want you out of anybody that we had, because you lost the most power weight of anybody we've ever had. I would never want you to get, because of all the 30 improvements that you have made, a number on a scale, because I was with you from the start. I remember you used to tear up sometime. Like, you used to be like, no, I don't want to ever step on this guy. I'd be like, you all right, girl, you're gonna be all right. But yeah, so with you and everything that you've been doing, like, you should never, you're so healthy now, you're so fit, you're moving so good, you're so, like, don't let that scale, I don't care if that scale one day said 190 pounds, I don't care. That doesn't dictate your health. You're 10 times healthier, you're a whole new person, you're a whole new creature. You have been killing it since it's going to be a year in November. Yeah. So, man, like, whew.
November 4th was when I first took my first progress photos. I was thinking of maybe doing them again on this November and then posting it and showing everybody where I started to where I made in a year.
Man, that's crazy. It's still crazy when I see you sometime walk in the gym. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Or when I see you jog out to your car to grab your water or something real quick, compare that with you used to be just walking out to the car. I'd be like, I'm hoping she coming back sooner or later. Now she's like, I'll be back. Jog out there, come back, be like, girl, where you go? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, amazing. Great job. Holly?
Well, I used to be obsessed with the scale. Like, I actually went out and bought the Biggest Loser scale. And I still have it, but I did Shakeology probably about 4 years ago. And I literally lost every day. And I had like a log that I got on, and whether it would be like 0.5 or 0.2, I kept every date and I weighed myself every morning. And I was like obsessed with it. And I like literally lost, I don't know, probably 40 or 50 pounds. And then of course, then when I got like really small, I mean, I actually look back at pictures and I go, yeah, I looked probably too thin. And then I kind of like didn't weigh myself as much. And I actually don't even like to weigh myself now. When it's even weigh-in, I know my body's changing just by like the way I look in the mirror and stuff. But I don't even like the weigh-ins. Like, even for this challenge, I just kind of go, ooh, I do feel like I try to avoid it. So this was a really good, it's funny how like, and I don't know if it's because, I went through where like, I didn't like the number on the scale and I would just be like, okay, I'm not getting back on there. I don't know what really made me dislike the scale, because I literally was faithful every day. And it was like a rewarding thing. But I also was spending hundreds of dollars a month for Shakeology. So I better have seen like the numbers on the scale go down. But it's like, I don't know what it probably, I got on and I was like, whoa, don't like that number. Okay, not going to get on there anymore. But I don't like the scale like I used to anymore. And that's okay.
That is okay. That's actually freeing, because now you're going to be able to lose weight, feel great, and not be bound. Okay, she used words. So when people talk to me, first of all, y'all always understand I'm listening to y'all, okay? Don't be like, oh man, they listen to me. Yes, I do. So she used words like obsession. So obsession, what that means is something preoccupies your mind, meaning you can't shake it. It's there, and it's actually a controlling thought or a controlling idea. And guess what? No obsession is really sustainable. They can last for a year or two or three or four or five, but eventually, if you get off of that perfect obsession of doing this thing, man, what happens is everything tends to just crumble and fall. Which how we're doing is we are developing skills and habits that will never go nowhere. If I was to fall, I literally, man, I just can't see myself falling off the wagon. But let's say if something happened, I don't know, God forbid, I don't know the future. But if something happened, I fall off the wagon. These skills that I got, oh, all I got to do is get back to consistency, not perfection, and I'll be able to do whatever I need to do. Just like basketball, I've got so much skill in it now. If I stop playing for so long, yeah, I may lose some of the sharpness, some of the IQ and stuff like that. But if I go back to it with consistency, oh my goodness, I'll be right back to where I need to be as super competitive. So any obsession of anything like that, any controlling thing that has to control you every day, like an obsession like that, number one, is not unhealthy. Number two, it preoccupies you. So then you start to find your value, worth. It controls your mind, attitude, heart, and everything. And it's just not sustainable. So that's why if it was up to me, we wouldn't even have a scale in it. But I understand that everybody's not at that point. So if you don't want to do the weigh in, you don't have to necessarily do the weigh in. That's not something like I am a stickler for the habits though. I'd be like, hey man, make sure you're tracking, but you are never. That's why it was a few weeks there. You didn't hear me really because I was just trying to see how this is going to play out. I wasn't really pressed to ask you all like when. You know what I'm saying? If you get to the point where you like, I don't really feel like weighing it, cool. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna still do like our monthly pictures and inches and stuff like that. But if a person doesn't want to, because I know that does not dictate and determine how healthy you are, and you entered a transformation to be healthy, I'm not going to be the one that force you on that scale. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's good. Anybody else? What about you, Rebecca? You're just looking off in the sky somewhere, okay?
Uh, I don't own a scale.
Mhm.
I don't like scales because I feel like they are very discouraging. So, and then because the whole 13 weeks for the first level, I did not lose 1 pound, unfortunately, even though I know I've lost inches, but the scale never moved. So each time that I got on the scale, it just discouraged me more because I know I was putting the work in, but I wasn't seeing the difference in the numbers. And so therefore I just choose not to own the scale just because for that reason. But even say if I did, and I still, the numbers weren't moving and I weighed myself and so forth, I would not be the individual to go back to my old habits. I would figure out what I'm doing wrong and try to change it. You know what I mean? So I can reach my goal.
And that's what level 2 is for. And that's what you've been doing. So now it's like, all right, so we've been working on portion sizes. We've been working on getting in more protein. We've been working on eating we've been working on these things or whatever the case is. And I think, let's say if you don't want to weigh yourself within the first 2 weeks, you can or cannot, but you can do it within the second week. Now we're just using that as a, like, oh my God, you're getting healthy or not getting healthy or whatever the case is, but it's because now it's like, all right, I want to see a little bit of progress on the scale, meaning I'm not worried or obsessed about a scale, but we are now actively putting in boundaries and putting in steps to get you to, let's say, lose weight or something like that. So we can then track and say, okay, are we doing it? Because like you said, that's great that a lot of people don't have it. Great, you have the mentality is, okay, if I haven't seen a number that I want on the scale, okay, I'm gonna talk to my coach, I'm gonna see it. What can I do? Okay, this is what I've been doing. And I gotta be honest, have I been doing this stuff consistently? If it's yes, okay, this is what I've been doing consistently. So then talk to your coach, which is me, and then we'll adjust and do anything that we got to do according to that. But yeah, good. Like I may not ever get on my scale ever again in life because like as long as I'm able to run around with Rachel, we able to jog together, Daniel, I'm able to play with him for the next 18 years and stuff like that. Like, look, I am good to go, man. I don't have to be the best at anything. I just want to be a good, healthy role model for my son. And that drives me. That makes me not want to overeat. That makes me not want to, you know what I'm saying? That, not because of freaking scale. I'm not saying the scale, you can't never step on it again, but that doesn't control me. So death to the scale, man, that's for those who allow the scale. They don't use it as like a scientific measurement to see something real quick. They use it as a controlling factor of their health. They use it as a, I'm not worth nothing, or I'm not have no value because this number don't look the way it looks. So that's
Yeah.
why it's death to the scale for that individual. All right.
Amen.
Amen. There you go. You should have told me preach.
Preach.
Anybody got anything else? What about you, mama? You ain't never quiet. You better stop it. I can't hear you, mama. You just turned your video on. Yo, Mom, man, we've been doing this for 13 weeks, Mom. You gotta get there. You gotta get there. All right. So we had a little glitch in her thing. We'll wait till she comes back up. Anybody else got anything? Rachel, you got anything you want to add?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello. Hey, yeah, kind of like what I had shared previously, but you can have a good week or two of eating well and working out, and you feel good, and then sometimes whenever you get on the scale, it doesn't reflect how you're really feeling, and then it can change your attitude. It can change, or I should say, it can steal your joy from you because it might not be the number that you're looking for. So yeah, I don't really pay attention to the scale either. I just look at, how do I look and how do I feel? And I feel like those are more accurate measurements instead of the number on the scale.
Mm-hmm. Because that number on the scale is not going to dictate or determine whether you have a happy marriage. Number on the scale shouldn't. That'd be horrible if it does. Number on the scale should not dictate and determine whether you are a happy, productive individual, living long and stuff like that. No. Like I said, I'm not saying don't lose weight. Lose weight, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is don't let that scale control you. Like we jumping around, we celebrating, we doing good. You're killing it. You're doing good. You're amazing. Wow, amazing. And 2 days later, we get on the scale. You're like, oh man, suck, man. No, you don't suck. You just mastered a bunch of things. Like you do not
Yeah.
suck. Mom, are you back? There you
Yes,
go.
I'm back. I just wanted to say, my journey is, I guess, a little bit like a lot of you guys. I did the little scale thing at the beginning, and it was really funny because I told Maksud, I said, Maksud, I've lost weight before, but something I'm not doing, I said, because the scale is not moving. And so my son says, Ma, first of all, stop getting on the scale. Okay. So he really had to like get that in my head. And ever since he told me stop getting on the scale, I only do it when it's like required, like every 2 weeks or whatever. And that's when I get on the scale. And I'm just amazed, like he mentioned earlier, my journey is slow for some reason, but to me, I have gained so many other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he mentioned, like, oh my God, I can move better. I can walk 2 miles. And that is a feat for me, guys, because I had an injury in my leg. So it's like, Maksud, my legs are not even working right anymore. And I remember I was telling him, I had fallen at school, and after I settled the case and all that stuff, my lawyer says to me, well, we're going to make sure you have a situation where you can go back in and get surgery for that knee because you're going to need knee surgery. And I told my son that. I said, wow, he just chalked me off to having knee surgery. And, Maksud said, that's not going to happen, and I said, nope, because I'm not claiming it.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I have been on that that transformation and transforming my mind and my body, because I'm that type of person that I want to see all my grandbabies, because I have 6 of them now. And
Mhm.
I want to be able to be around to see them get to, young adults and hopefully have their own families.
Mhm.
So once he told me, just start moving, mom. And I said, okay. He says, just 5 minutes. So me and that's my son. I say, okay, 5 minutes is nothing. And it wasn't anything. And then 5 minutes went to 10 and 10 minutes went to 20. And before I know it, I was doing 30 and then 45 minutes. And now I'm walking 2 miles. And that's all because I just started changing on that I want to live longer. And so the scale was most definitely getting to me. And it's to me, it's still moving slow, but that's like the least of my worries, if you really want to look at it,
Mhm.
because I'm learning those portion sizes and learning to eat till I'm satisfied. And I'm getting some great ideas from all my transformation group members on what's good to eat. And it's just a joy. It's just a joy that I'm changing, and I'm changing in the better, not looking back. I'm not regretting. And I'm not regretting that the scale is not moving as fast as it should, because everything takes time. Because, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. It takes time for us to get all that weight on.
Mhm.
Remember that. So it's going to take time for you to transform and get the weight off.
And tell them about
So,
your numbers when you went to the doctors, and what was it
yeah,
before, and then after the 13 weeks and stuff like that. What is it
yeah.
now?
I went to the doctor, and for one thing, this was the crazy thing. The young lady, the first time she took my blood pressure, she said it was 160
Mm.
over like something huge. And I said, oh no, that is impossible. I never have high blood pressure.
Mm.
I've had 5 children and never have a high blood pressure. And I'm going through all this, even with the weight, I never have high blood pressure. I said, take it again. So she said, okay, let me get a bigger cuff. So she gets this bigger cuff, and the bigger cuff did not work. And I said, wow, what's going on? So she said, okay, let's move it down to your arm area. So about time she got finished, the arm area, it was still high. It was like over 140. It was like 142 over something. I said, that's still not right. And so I left, and I got in my car, and I said, this is not right. I do not have high blood pressure. See, I didn't claim it. I did not claim it.
Mhm.
So immediately I started looking at foods that I can incorporate into my diet that could help me. On top of everything else, I, got a little better as far as my exercising and being more consistent. And when I went to my next doctor, which was my foot doctor, which I guess it was maybe, I'm going to say 3 weeks later, it had gotten down to 120. It had gotten down to 120 over 76.
Mm.
And I just went to my cardiologist the other day for my regular routine, and now it's at 111
Mm.
over 76.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, I just said that was impossible. And that's because I stopped a couple of things. The salt probably was the main thing, but just eating how I'm eating now, and being more consistent on my exercises really, really helped it.
Mm.
So yeah, because I was saying I'm not claiming high blood pressure,
Mm-mm.
because I was saying I'm not going to claim pre diabetes. My AC1 numbers were great, and that's why I wasn't claiming hypertension. I wasn't claiming it. And so once I started really being very consistent with my eating, that's when it started really fluctuating down like it's supposed to be. And it's good. It's very good now. And I'm feeling great. My legs are feeling great. I'm moving better. I sleep better, less worry. A lot of things has happened.
Mm.
So the weight, and as far as that scale, is the least that I'm worrying about, because I've had so many other accomplishments.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Good
Mm.
job. Yep. So that's just a thing, like those non-scale victories. So she's going to be able to what? That's about Daniel will be graduated from high school in 18 years. If there's a high school, I don't know. It's so crazy now. But he's going to be graduating in 18 years, and not
Yes.
because of the numbers on the scale, but because of the healthy habits and the actions and everything that he's doing. She's going to be around to see him walk across the stage, and that's an amazing thing, and I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Because the lady before in level 1, she was saying that she lost a whole lot of weight, but she looked at herself and she was just unhealthy. Her habits was bad and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make health our number one priority, because if your health goes bad, then that's what really starts us going to
Yes.
these doctors, hearing this bad news. And, a number one, a skill can look good or bad or whatever the case. Obviously, we want to lose weight, but we're going to still want to lose weight. But my goodness, we want to make sure we're healthy and we're strong. So don't let the scale steal, kill, and destroy anything that you've been doing. You know what
Most
I'm
definitely.
saying? Let your health be the number one priority. And man, let's keep getting healthy. The scale does not make you healthier. It literally does not make you healthier by stepping on that scale. So we can lose that mentality and idea and get away from that. And I think we can be made free from that. And then we can actually start going in the right direction. Because if I don't get controlled by that scale, then Howley said, she was obsessed. Obsessed means preoccupied. So she probably never looked at portion sizes or anything like that. It was just, no, they give me this regimen. I follow this little regimen and I lose, but that's not really sustainable, for the rest of my entire, because she's young, man. She still got 40, 50, God knows how many years they still have. So I want to make something sustainable in these habits, and then you eating real food, and you don't have to do this specific little thing your whole life. You can just eat real good, healthy, nutritious food, get your body right, get your ligaments right, get your joint right, be active, feel good, look good. We'll lose weight, especially you're with me and my people, and I'm coaching you. Like I'm saying, we'll lose weight, and with the other coaches, they'll help you, and we'll brainstorm and stuff like that. But don't let the scale control you. Anybody got anything else before we get off? Jen, did you want to say anything? Or Sue? I think you were the only two that didn't say. Or Mal? Is Mal still on there? I think Mal may not be on. Yep, that's Rachel. Yep, Mal got off. But anybody, anything? Don't shake your little head, Sue. You don't even, Jen. I see your head. I can actually see you, okay? All right. So we got, okay, so that's everybody. All right, y'all. So let's keep at it. Let's keep working. Rebecca, you got some nice nails. Great job. Let's keep up what we're doing. Keep on doing our thing, y'all. And remember, death to that scale. That scale does not control me. If you do not want to weigh in, you don't have to. If you want to, you let me know. We can keep track. But if not, that's okay. Our next weigh-in date is going to be, but I think if you only do it, like I say, the 2 weeks, so that we can say, all right, what we're doing, and let's switch some stuff up, especially level 2 more so than anything. It's just so we can switch some stuff up if need be. We're going to use it as a scientific measure. We're not going to use it to measure any of our value or our worth, or we're not going to get obsessed and discouraged by it. It's just going to be like, so a lot of people got on the scale for the first time. They was like, oh man, I suck and da da da. Like, no, you ain't even, come on now. So yeah, you don't suck, you don't anything, but it could be used as, okay, this is where we're at. What have we been doing? Okay, so how about we go to this habit next, and we'll discuss that and stuff so we can determine where we need to go from here. Okay. But yeah, that was good. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with enemy number 2. Okay. I don't have it right in front of me, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what it is, but it's an enemy, and we're going to talk about it next week at 7 p.m. Love you all. Thank you all for getting on. Holler at me anytime. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All
Bye,
right, y'all.
everybody. Have a good night.
Yep, you all too.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.